wonderful gem of a game called Neutopia. It is a game for the TurboGrafx 16, which I know is very rare, especially in the RPG world. You know, unless you're talking about some of the later releases.
Okay, well, you're live now, dude.
I'm live now?
Yeah.
Well, hello.
I told you.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Very good. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. This is Von here. I'm going to be running Neutopia here. This is a game for the TurboGrafx 16. Globing Dusk is already doing us. I believe he... Yes, there we go. This is an action RPG for the TurboGrafx 16, which I know is not a very common or well-known console, but this game is on there and it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to bring it to you. So, in fact, I'm going to bring it to you in 3, 2, 1 now. Alright, so here's our lore, folks. The evil wizard Dearth has beamed himself down to the peaceful land of Neutopia in the middle of the night to steal Princess Aurora, which has summoned our hero here. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. This is Jazeta. He's our hero of the story. He's being told by this lady that he needs to recover the 8 medallions of wisdom from wise men of years past in order to break the seal of evil that Dearth has put around his lair in Antarctica, so that we can rescue Princess Aurora and bring peace to the land again. So I'm setting out on my adventure. Very first stop that I'm going to make here is actually something that's done strictly for marathon safety. What I'm about to obtain is an item called the Book of Revival. What this will allow me to do is it'll allow me to actually use save points, which has 2 benefits. First, obviously, being able to do safety saves. That should speak for itself. But if you save and reset, it will also refill your life, which... Oh, shoot, come on. Which is particularly useful when you are heading into some more difficult dungeons. So I'll most likely be making use of that. So the way that this game works is that the overworld, if you will, is split up into 4 what are called spheres, which is, you know, kind of 4 different geographical types of locations. We're going to do the land sphere, and then we'll do the subterranean sphere. Then there's a sea sphere, and lastly there's a sky sphere. We'll be doing those 4 in that order. You're forced to do them in that order. It's linear in that regard. Now, each sphere contains 2 crypts which need to be completed, and this is where you grab the medallions in order to progress. What I'm obtaining now is arguably the most important item that you're going to get in the game. I will use it liberally. This is the Fire Wand. It is used mostly as an assault weapon, however, it will allow us to access some other special areas that will be necessary for doing things that we want to do. So, anyway, so in each sphere there's going to be 2 crypts, which we will need to complete. In each, when it comes to those pairs of crypts, oh shoot. One crypt is decidedly more difficult than the other. In each of the spheres, we're always going to do the more difficult crypt first. And the reason being is that the items that we obtain either in that crypt or on the way to that crypt are of good use, and so we want to get those as soon as possible. I'll get out of the way. That should work. Again, thank you. Alright, so we make this detour here to talk to this gentleman. What he's going to do is he's going to give me an extra segment of life. We'll go from 5 to 6 momentarily, and there it is. The reason why we take about a minute out of our run to go and get this is because there's a very interesting mechanic when it comes to how this Fire Wand works. The the power of the fire that comes out of it, as well as kind of the, you know, the trajectory or the way that it looks, it's dependent on the amount of total life that you have. Now, this total is not at all relative to your current maximum. So, the more life that you have in total, obviously you can't have, you know, the requisite amount of life unless you have that much in maximum. So, we do get a couple of life upgrades because it's going to make battles a lot easier to have more powerful fire. So this is the first crypt that we're going to go into here. With the cherry, you see that cherry that got dropped there. What the cherry does is it gives me back a segment of life. That's a coin. We will never go to any shops in this game, so picking up coins is totally unnecessary. Oh, come on. Have to kill all these bugs here to progress. Ah, good, I'll take that. There you go. So this is the Fire Wand in action. Now, unfortunately, with this grade of the Fire Wand, when enemies drop items like that hourglass you just saw, or coins or whatever, the fireballs will not go through those items. So, those can actually get in your way and make combat a little more difficult. So we want to kill these guys, because these guys are notorious for dropping bomb packs. I need to pick up at least one at some point here in order to actually, like, progress with the game. So, what this here is the key. Every crypt is going to have a key unique to its crypt that you need to obtain in order to open the door to the boss's room. All the doors that have been stopping me before, you'll notice they've been gray. The door to the boss's room is brown, so you know that's how you know when it's the boss room. And then also, in order to get into the boss room, if there are any enemies in that room, you need to defeat all of them in order to progress. Ah, okay, now that item I just picked up, the magic ring. I'll explain that in a second, but first I want to explain what I'm getting here. This is an upgrade to my sword. This is going to be extremely important for the first two bosses that you fight in this game, because, you know, one of them you just damage boost through stuff. One of them, you only have certain cycles. There's the bomb pack I needed. So, getting this sword... Ooh, another one. That's just icing on the cake. So getting the sword is pretty crucial. Ah, I knew I was going to do that. So I got a second ring there. Unfortunately, you can only hold one at a time, so that doesn't really do me any good. So what the ring does is, in a room where you have larger... Ooh, I'll take that cherry. Thank you very much. In a room where you have larger enemies, like these, I suppose, using the ring will reduce them to smaller, weaker enemies. And this is actually going to be really important for a couple particular rooms in this game. Let's see if I can two-cycle this. Okay, good so far. And it takes 11 hits. I already got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 cycle. Perfect. That's the first boss. Oops. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, so. Also, every time you complete a crypt, you get warped back to this temple here. You talk to this old lady. She will affix the medallion into its proper place and give you an extra segment of life. Alright, so now with that crypt done, we can make our way over to the next one. This one is going to be... Oh, okay, I'll just get my life back. Cool. This one's going to be much easier to deal with. Not only because it's just an easier crypt to begin with, but also because I have I have the sword upgrade and the fire wand already, so moving through this dungeon is a breeze. You know, I don't know how racist that robot is. I have named him David for reasons which should be obvious. You know, one of the things that this... Okay, one other thing I should mention. You've probably noticed that this game, I'm running the Japanese version. The reason for that is because the text scrolling in the Japanese version is much faster than the English version. It saves well over a minute over the course of the run to do it in Japanese as opposed to the North American version. But beyond that, there is zero differences between the Japanese and North American games. You know, as far as game mechanics, anything like that, nothing at all. Alright. This is one of my least favorite rooms of the game because the bats like to hide in corners and stuff. But now the bats are being super nice to me. That was really fast. That's good. So anyway, one of the... when this game was being, you know, reviewed... Got the key for this crypt now. One of the things that it was criticized for was a lot of kind of overt and just really kind of out of place and out of context religious references, and that robot boss is one of... Oh, come on. God, again, a ring that I picked up even though it doesn't do me good. Alright, so we're taking a detour here to pick up an armor upgrade. Now, up until recently, this armor upgrade was not picked up in the any percent category. We instead picked up a stronger armor upgrade in the next crypt. However, picking up that armor in the next crypt not only was... Oh, shoot. Not only was very time-consuming, but it also was unsafe, too. You usually took quite a bit of damage doing it, so... okay, I'll take that, might as well. So we decided to do this one instead. And it saves about a minute. There we go. Okay. 17 hits to kill that dragon. Alright, we've got our second medallion now. At which point we are done with the land sphere. We will be moving on to the subterranean sphere, where this run actually starts to get a little more interesting and certainly more challenging. Once you're done with a particular sphere, you never go back to it. There's no reason to. So, the game is fairly linear in that regard. Oh, these guys are jerks. I got the good damage boost at least. Alright. So, shoutouts to High Spirits. He loves it when I burn rocks to the ground with my fire, because that makes a lot of sense. Right now, we are picking up an item called... and you'll see it here in just a second. This is the Moonbeam Moss. What this will do is when used in a room in a crypt that is dark, it will light the way. It'll actually light the way for a few rooms going forward. This sphere is actually a good opportunity to talk about some of the RNG elements of this game. As far as enemy movement goes, there are certain enemies where when you enter a screen, you know they are always going to move in a certain direction, whereas others are completely random, and you're going to see lots more examples of this, especially in crypts coming up. So it makes for, you know, where you enter a screen very important. Even with boss fights, like I will actually manipulate boss movement by entering the screen on a certain tile or even half tile to get them to do what I want them to do. Here's going to be a good example here. There's going to be 4 of those ant enemies here, and they are all going to go left. They always do that. Whereas these blue rock-throwing jerks are very erratic. Luckily, they were nice there. I want to enter this screen as far left as possible so that I can just loop around the corner and make that one less dangerous. So, I'm going to push this rock here, reveal this staircase here, and pick up another crucial item to the game. This is the rainbow drop. What this will do is it will create a little kind of bridge that will allow me to walk over one tile-wide gaps, such as, you know, holes or rivers or whatnot. Do I get the YOLO line here? Yes, I do. Thank you, enemies. I appreciate that. Alright. Because this is a marathon, we are going to just take a little stop into here, talk to this lady, mash through all this stuff, and that saves my game. The crypt is 2 screens away. This one can give you some difficulty, so might as well just do that. Yeah, Dragon Quest ripoff confirmed. I see that. Alrighty, so there's the rainbow drop in action. You saw me using it to get across that gap. Obviously, this is the very first room of the crypt. I cannot enter it without that rainbow drop, so...
Hey, Scala is here. Do you want her to join?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So, the voice you will be hearing momentarily, with any luck, is my good friend Scala Kitty. She is going to help me out with commentary here in this run. One of the things that I find fantastic about the fact that she's doing this is she has never played this game at all. She's only watched me run it, but she is a very loyal viewer of mine and a very good friend. And I asked her to do commentary just because she's so good at it and she knows a lot about the game just through, you know, Vani osmosis, watching me run it. So it'll be a delight to have her here once she comes in.
Oh, thank you, Vani.
And here she is. Hello.
Hello. So I see we're already in what is traditionally crypt number 1, but for us it's crypt number 2.
Actually, this is crypt number 4. I'm already in the Subterranean.
Oh, 4! Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You're also... Everyone is so, like, Scooty this morning.
Yep. Oh, be nice, Ghost. Thank you. Alright, so this is one of my least favorite rooms. This is one of my least favorite rooms in the game because these ghost enemies here, they can only be damaged with the sword. And they can also disappear. And, you know, they reappear a couple seconds later, but every time they disappear, you can't hurt them, you can't see them, and it just wastes time, so they suck. And you have to obviously kill everything in there in order to progress.
Okay. And chat, is this a little bit better? I'm so sorry that I spooked you all. I do apologize.
Well, you made your presence felt when you came in here, Scala. Alrighty. So another thing to mention here is that there were 6 slimes in this room. Now there are only 2. It's because I killed 4 of them the first way through. Now,
right.
I know that when it comes to when those or what enemies are going to be replaced, they were placed from left to right. So I know if I've killed enough of them, if I enter the room on the right side, they will... Darn it. I didn't want to take that damage. It shouldn't be a big deal, but you never know, so... wouldn't mind seeing a cherry here. Hopefully I don't derp against this boss. Oh, shoot, go away. No, don't touch me. Stop it.
Oh, no, this look...
Okay, here we go. We should be good. Alright, so... a little bit of serious time. This is a very difficult boss I need to fight here. Super hard. That's my buddy. That's my buddy Stunlock Earwig that we just defeated. We are able to pin him against the wall and just basically just wail on him until he's done.
It's just a little bit of fun just to play with the stunlocking in this game. That comes up in a couple of the different bosses.
It does, yes. I kind of wasn't kidding about the serious time, though, even though obviously all you do is just stab him. Because, and the reason being is that, because I'm so... Oh, stop it. because I'm so close to him, I don't want him to move. I don't want him to touch me, and in order to do that, the rhythm of my sword stabs needs to be pretty on point, so...
Right, and it's a full, like, 7 for, like, to get the kill on him.
Correct. Alrighty. Oh, come on. Alright, so here's why I needed all those bombs. I'm going to use like 5 or 6 of them in this crypt alone. Ah! Alright, so... talk to this guy. And then, we get a shield upgrade here. This is the only shield upgrade we're going to get in the game. This now allows me to block the blue fireballs that enemies are shooting.
Also arrows and daggers as well.
Correct, yeah. Oh, yeah, the daggers from the boss that I'm going to be fighting pretty soon. That's right.
I hope we talked about the fact that Jazeta is at least polite and never takes, like, treasure from, like, you know, unless it's just out in the open or someone gives it to him.
You know, one thing that I always so like to point out about Jazeta is, I mean, when you see a sprite from the side, he kind of has a scowl on his face. Part of the lore that... Oh, here's the Moonbeam Moss in action lighting up this room. I just like to do it to have, make this a little... Ooh, there we go. Time stopper. I like it. Hello. There we go. So part of the lore, when at the very beginning of the game, when that lady is telling you need to collect the 8 medallions, she also tells you that your reward, if you are successful, is you will have the princess's eternal love. Well, I'm not sure that Jazeta is actually convinced, because he doesn't look too happy about it. And, you know, he's probably thinking, like, what if I don't even like her? Like, you know, what am I doing this for? I'm laying my life on the line. What if she's annoying? Like... So, I think he's a very reluctant hero. At least that's what the look on his face tells me. Oh, see, this is the ghost being a jerk here. Just
for Felly in chat, we are playing on the TurboGrafx 16 for this version.
There we go. Thank you, Dagger Twins. So the way that I entered that room and walked up to that first gargoyle, that was manipulation. By doing it the way that I did it, he's always going to sit right up there at the top of the wall, and I can just bounce him off of it with sword stabs. The other twin, though, that's a bit of RNG with his movement. He was in a spot that I normally don't expect him to be after I killed the first one. But even still, after I stabbed him the first time, he decided to move straight up and down, which is perfect because you can just, you know, hit them in a vertical fashion, and they will just continue to bounce off the wall and just take the hits. So another detour here to pick up another life upgrade.
So now we're in the Sea Sphere,
Correct.
Which is our third area.
Right. Well, I tell you what, okay, so another detour here. What we're gonna get here is a oh, come on. There we go. This young caveman here is going to give me an upgrade to my bomb capacity, and now I can hold 12 as opposed to my previous maximum of 8. And he also refills my bombs too, which is good.
While we're...
go ahead.
I'm about to say, we're probably going to talk about the same thing, about the glitch that can happen while you're walking along to the next crypt.
Oh, no, I wasn't, but yeah, Go ahead and explain that if you'd like.
So there's a pretty interesting glitch in this game where if you don't have any bombs in your inventory, the bomb icon is missing. And if you go and you get that bomb upgrade with no bombs in your inventory, though it technically refills your bombs, you actually cannot access them until you pick up a normal bomb pack in-game. And the game remembers that, oh yeah, you can have bombs.
Yeah.
So you always have to make sure you have at least one bomb in your inventory before you go and visit the bomb upgrade gentleman.
Correct. So what I've just picked up are the Scooty Boots. These are actually, I think they're called the Falcon Shoes. They will double my walking speed. So no, what I was going to say before is that this game is rife with fantastic music. And and the music to the Sea Sphere is my personal favorite.
I admit I'm a Sky Sphere person.
You're
I like
Sky Sphere kind of gal?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sky Sphere music is also very good too. All right, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna get our save on. And we're gonna reset, and that's gonna refill my life there. Now, I know I'd only taken 1 damage, but this crypt that's coming up right here, this is the most difficult crypt in the game to go through. So, having as much life as possible is pretty important. And one of the reasons why is this enemy right here. These are wizards that like to do that. And can make my life very difficult. What you saw me do right there, walking through and just blocking those shots, that's one of the main reasons why we pick up the bronze shield, is pretty much for that room there. Also, the boss that I fought, what I call the Dagger Twins, the gargoyles from the last crypt, having the shield allows me to block their shots too. Ooh, baby. I will take that gladly. Make this room nice and ooh, a cherry too? Hello.
Oh, that's nice to have happen.
Very nice.
Very nice. Oh, yeah. Now I'm seeing it happen. Teeny tiny stream delay. Just a teeny tiny bit.
These are some of my least favorite enemies in this game. These zombie...
The kitty wisp.
No, those too. But these kind of zombified armadillos. These can only be damaged with the sword as well. And even though they're slow, they move in a fairly erratic pattern. Ooh, baby, I'll take that too. They move in a fairly erratic pattern. And because the vertical hurt box on your sword sucks, it makes fighting them not fun.
But by the way, Bonnie, did you tell chat about what the wings actually do in game? Because we're not using them.
I'll get to the wings in just a second, but you're about to see the magic ring in action. You saw it for just a second there. There were 4 wizards in that room, as well as this wisp guy. Oh, I got another ring already. That is amazing. All right, that is very good fortune that I just experienced there. Immediately picking up another ring, because if we have one, we will use it for another room in this crypt. So I am very hyped to have that. That's very cool.
What do you want to talk about the ring then? Did you already explain what it does?
I already explained what it does, but that's the first time that you actually use it. So
yeah,
I just wanted to just point it out so they could see what it does.
Yes.
Now the wings, I actually just picked up one. That was pretty good cue.
Yes.
What the wings do is they teleport you back to the last place that you saved. In the any % run, we never want to do that. So even though I'm going to be picking up a lot of wings along the way, I won't use them. In the 100% run, there is a use for them at the pretty much the very end of the run, but otherwise we largely ignore the wings. In fact, we completely ignore the wings, I should say. That's the more accurate way of putting it.
Oh, and then I see that poor little last enemy hourglass.
Yeah, final enemy hourglass shoutouts. Yeah, that's my favorite. We all know that. Come on. There we go. Yeah, all those wings that just serve to just get in my way. Oh, I do not like where that slug is. Okay, good. These wisps, I really don't enjoy. They only move diagonally, but when and where they turn is totally random, and they can really screw you up. Alright, so I'm actually going to demonstrate something here. Let me kill him. Ooh, that's nice. Alright. So I'm actually going to... Okay, you have to watch real quick. I'm going to light up this room. Now, you see there's 4 of these wizards, but there's also those blocks in the middle. Fighting this room without the ring is terrifying.
Right.
Now, if I could get one more ring from these little fluffy slugs, that would be great, because I need one in Crypt 8 to make my life a lot easier. So, we take this detour to fight this room, because this gives us the strongest armor. This is really important for the rest of the run. So, it is worth the time to do it.
Now, for the armor, how much does each level, like a fraction the amount of damage you take?
There's not an exact answer to that question.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay, so this kind of... This underscores what I was talking about before. So you saw when I entered this room, because of the damage that I had taken, my fire wand was shooting out those balls of fire. Now, when I picked up the cherry, that got me to at least there.
Level 2 fire.
Yes. So now it's shooting out those fire columns.
But I do love the fact that the strongest armor in the game, it's just literally just called the strongest armor. Yep. There's like nothing else going on with it.
Yeah, no creative or mythical name for it. Just it's the strongest armor. Just accept that. All right. Say hello to Poverty Trinex. This is the most this is definitely going to be the longest boss fight of the game, and it's also one of the more random. So we have to hit the heads to dislodge them, or sometimes they'll do it on their own, but every once in a while you get a great opportunity like that, where you can just Stunlock bounce it off the wall and do mass amounts of damage to it. The sword is much more effective in doing damage than the fire wand is. So we have to get up close and personal, which does make this dangerous. However, I do have... I actually haven't used any potions yet, which is pretty remarkable. So I am plenty safe for this fight and beyond, which means that we should be getting the quick kill on the next boss, which I know is something that delights you, Scott.
Oh, that's like my favorite quick kill in the entire game.
There we go. Okay, now. Okay, please be the only hit I take. Thank you, good. Alright, I didn't have to use a potion there. Whew, that was a bit of a gamble, but I'm really glad it paid off. Oh yeah, that chime you hear is the lovely "you're low on health" noise.
I find this one more annoying than Zelda's.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Absolutely.
No question about it. Alrighty. So, now, the ideal strategy when it comes to going to this next crypt and through it is that I take 0 damage. Because I now have 12 life, which means I have a further upgrade to my fire wand. I need this upgrade in order to do the boss quick kill, as well as get through some of these rooms rather quickly. And of course these fishmen are being jerks and getting in my way. Oh, so that little piece of damage right there, even though you don't see any white segments of my life bar. Oh, and I just got a cherry. Hallelujah.
Beautiful.
Yes. Thank you. Boy, you know, I am probably going to just shoot myself in the foot for saying this out loud, but considering this is a marathon run, I'm getting really good luck. Oops, no, I don't want that.
I like how there's an oops immediately after that statement.
Yeah.
This is the one time we had to kind of do a little bit of divergence before we can go to the crypt.
Yeah, we just do this. I mean, you basically just fight this one room. You come in here, you talk to this guy, and you leave. But you cannot get into the next crypt that I'm going to do without doing this. But again, yeah, like Scala said, it's the only instance of this in the game. I don't know why. It's just kind of random.
I wonder if it's something that has to do with the compass item that we never really use in the run, but would probably be a key component casually. Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I just took a damage there. I tried to get sneaky and it didn't work so well. Luckily, though, I do have a spare potion, so if I don't get another cherry along the way, then we'll still be fine for doing the quick kill. So I'm not too worried about it. And I just took another damage there, so now I'm gonna need 2 cherry. Whatever. We're just gonna get through this.
You can do it.
Alright. Yeah, having the good fire is definitely nice for this room here. Any room where you have wizards, if you have good fire. This is the last wizard we'll have to actually fight in the game, though. So, it's not a big deal. Alright.
I mean, wizard enemies are pretty much they're jerks in any game, like birds.
Yeah. Also, just like the little kind of blue magic arrows that they shoot out, unless you are on the highest grade of fire, they will stop your fire. They will stop your fire shots in their tracks. So you can't just stand in front of them and spam fire, because as soon as you get onto either their same X or Y axis, they'll immediately shoot out. So you have to get creative and kind of shoot at them from angles and stuff, which is tricky. Come on. There we go. All right. Wow, look at those cherries. I mean, I needed 4, but whatever. It's funny because cherries normally are fairly rare drops, so the fact that I've seen as many as I have is not common.
No, I definitely don't remember you seeing this many cherries in previous runs I've watched.
We'll just go ahead and just kill him. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and use a potion to get ourselves to full so we can do a quick kill. Hopefully. Let's see if this is going to go in either 1 or 2 cycles. It depends on which direction the crab moves once he gets to the top of the screen. We want him to move right, and he doesn't, naturally.
Oh, no! Come on, crab.
That's fine, though. Oh my goodness! That was just really bad timing. Alright, 3 cycle, whatever. It's better than doing it with your sword, which takes at least 6 cycles. So, even though that was a little sloppy, we saved time.
And it's just so much fun just to flame broil him.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. So now that we have finished the sea sphere, it is on to the sky sphere. And you can tell it's a sky sphere because, like, there's clouds and stuff. But of the 4 spheres, we're easily going to do the most walking around in the sphere itself here. Just because there's an... Oh, yes, there's a ring. Excellent. Excellent. Yay. Fine, I'll just damage boost. We're gonna do a save and reset before this next crypt anyway. So if I take a little bit of damage, even a decent amount of damage, it's not a problem.
And yes, hopefully I get your name right. Ziphuver. We've been putting all the medallions into the shrine so that to open up each of the spheres in turn.
Yeah, if you've noticed, when the spheres get placed, they get paired, and then a staircase will open between them, and that just takes you to the next. That takes you to the next sphere. Ow.
Ralos, we talked a little bit about the wings earlier. They return you to your last save point.
Yeah. But again, in any percent they don't get used.
Yeah.
Alright, so we do a detour here. This is gonna pick up another potion, and I might as well just refill my bombs while I'm here. This is mostly for safety. But, again, it's a marathon run, we might as well do it. Alright, so, more walking. We're walking. Oh, come on, get out of my way, please. Cool. Ow. 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 Stop it.
This is the only problem with me being like just like a smidge behind you. So I'm just like, I'm like, who's giving Bonnie trouble today? Is it the Fly Guys?
Oh, no.
Is it Wizard?
Right. Ram Wizard. Oh, Ram Wizard went left. Thank you for making my life easier. Alright. Go ahead and shoot Ram Wizard, and I'll go. Alright. So, another save. Another reset to refill our life, because this next crypt is... it's definitely the longest crypt in the game, as far as, you know, making your way through it. So having the full life there is definitely nice. I'm laughing at chat just making up all kinds of different things that this game is a ripoff of, and I'm not sure that. I mean, there's a lot of originality to this game. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I definitely like the enemy design. I like the music. It has a beautiful color palette. There's lots of good things about Neutopia.
Oh, there are.
And I like the fire upgrade. I actually think is a really interesting thing, like tying that to your life as a very subtle way to upgrade it over the course of the game.
It definitely, I like it because I think it's a unique, it definitely adds a unique challenge to the speed run that you have to, you know, normally you just want to, you know, kind of bonsai your way through things and just, you know, and just damage boost and all that stuff. But, you know, if you want to kill things quickly and use this fire wand to do it, which is the way to go, you can't do that. You have to be careful. So it makes the technical play of this game very important. Now, if you've probably noticed, and you won't see any, and that's glitches. This game is played pretty much straight up. So the item that I just obtained here is the Bell of the Sky, which we're going to put to immediate use. Whenever I ring it in a room where there's a closed door that would need to be opened by either pushing a block or killing all the enemies in there, it will open the door immediately, like so. There we go. As well as in here, too.
See, now, Bell of the Sky, that is a fantastic and unique item, and I love it.
Yes. Oh, shoot. Do I still have good fire? I think I do. Provided this thing isn't a jerk, thank you. Good.
Yeah, I'm like I said, you should have 1 bar of health now.
Yeah, no, it's still good.
As a buffer?
It's still good.
Okay, good.
Alright. So yeah, we're just going to use the Bell of the Sky to just abuse the last 2 crypts of the game. And I mean, the next crypt is basically trivial when we have this item, so kind of nice to have it. Don't feel like killing everything in here, so I won't.
No need to. Let's just keep moving along.
Indeed. Alright, now normally I would need to kill this very annoying skeleton in order to make this staircase right here appear. Trust me, there was a staircase there. But because I have the Bell of Sky, I don't need to worry about that. But I do need to worry about picking up this key here, which, like I have had, I've had to do in every crypt.
Yeah, as Lupinix was just asking in chat, yes, we still have to get the boss key.
Yeah, always, yeah. The bell does not work on the boss door. That's a good question. Oh, shoot, didn't mean to go back there.
Oh no! I think that's the most flying snakes I've seen in that room.
Yeah. Bell of the Sky here. Get out of my way. Thank you. Alright, so this next room is going to be another use of the ring. Look at all of these enemies in here. Very terrifying. Not so terrifying. Here we go. Let's just light all these little blobby dudes on fire. These red fireballs coming out of the statues, they will also block my fire shots, so... so that makes that a little more annoying. Alright, so we're going to use a potion here because we need best fire to do a quick kill on this boss. I will need serious time for this.
Not a problem.
I think I got it. I think I got it. I got it. Okay, good. Casually, that boss is extremely difficult to kill. But with best fire, and again, with the way that I move, we manipulate him to move across the top of the room and open up in a very specific spot. Come on. I use the fire wand to pin him down, and that's that.
Now, just so chat knows, again, because we've been doing all the crypts slightly out of order, this is actually supposed to be crypt number 8, the last crypt, because that was just Durf, the final boss, that we kind of had a little, like, pre-show rumble with.
Yeah.
And we're now going to go back and do crypt number 7.
Right.
Now that's going to be so much easier since we have the bell.
Right. It's also going to be a lot easier because of the next item which I'm about to obtain, which is literally, very literally, the strongest sword.
Just like the strongest armor.
Right.
And as I always joke whenever you run this game, I still argue that just traveling around inside a golden cat head is the absolute decadence of transport. It is the way I wish I could move through the world.
That is maximum swag. Alrighty, so, yeah, we take the detour. Oh, God, fire cloud, stop it. Okay, there we go. So this is a bit of a detour down here to get the sword. However, it is extremely important that I do this. For the next 2 bosses that I will fight, the second of which will be the final boss. So the Bell of the Sky makes this staircase appear, which takes us to this island in the clouds, which will allow us to obtain the strongest sword. It's even it's color coordinated with my strongest armor too. I'll be using it here in just a second. You'll see what I'm talking about. Ah. Oh well, that's fine.
I see that you have been good about remembering to switch back from the bell to the fire wand.
I've done that many times where I've tried to set someone on fire only to ring my bell instead and have them just laugh at me. There we go. Alright, so this is the final actual crypt that we will go through in this game. Mm-hmm. Again, like Scala said, with the bell, it's going to trivialize a lot of this. I knew that was going to happen, because that was Jerk, and in fact, we're going to go ahead and use it right here. Oh, that was dumb. Ooh, I can't grab that. Darn it. Oh well. No, that's not a big deal. Please die. Thank you. So you have to push those blocks in a very specific order in order to get in and get the key. If you mess that up, you have to do this. Excuse me. You have to get out of the room, go back in, and reset the whole thing, and then move on.
And it's just a pain.
Yeah, and it's a waste of time, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, for a speedrun, we don't like those.
Luckily, this crypt is fairly quick and easy now that we have the bell.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a shame we have to wait until the sky's here to get it.
Oh, yeah, if we could get this way earlier. Oh, God. It would simplify this run greatly. Alrighty. And in fact, we're gonna go out... We're gonna go out ringing. Bell here. Bell here. And... bell here. Did I get a ring?
As for... for Ziff, who we are in chat, the little pluses that are next to the doors, they're just there to let you know where the door is.
Yeah. Alright.
They're just part of the art.
So, don't blink. Boss dead. That's why we get the strongest sword.
No, just gone. Just, just super easy peasy.
That easy. Alright. So all 4 of the crypts... I'm sorry, all 8 of the crypts, excuse me. All 4 of the spheres have been completed. We will affix the final medallion into that spot in the upper left. The blue door at the top of the screen will open. I will get beamed up to Antarctica to do my face-off with Dirth himself. No golden Puma transport this time. It is just man-to-man.
And I love the fact you get this down real fast. I am saying we don't get to hear his theme, because his boss theme is the best.
It is indeed. 32 hits here, I will get serious. There he goes. All right. Time is going to be in about 30 seconds or so. It used to be when it was the final hit on the boss. However, it was discovered that you could do essentially a double KO, and in that case, you actually had to go back and fight him again. And obviously, we didn't want runs to end that way. So it's going to be when we get into the room where there's all the people. There's going to be a few more text boxes. And it's when the screen fades to black. So it's going to be coming up in just a few seconds here. Get ready. And time.
Congrats!
Thank you. All right. So this is not world record. World record for this game is 51 minutes and 44 seconds. So... I missed it by about a minute and a half. That was all due to me picking up the book and doing the 2 safety saves. Without those, this would have been pretty close to it probably would have been a 51. I don't know about a world record, but it would have been sub 52. But yeah, well, I mean, we want to take those safeties just because we want to do this in one fell swoop. I mean, trying to do this game and attack for a world record run. You definitely got to dance on the razor's edge in a couple of areas, mostly in the C sphere. So we forewent that for safety, but we still got a really good time. If I got anything under a 55, I was going to be happy. So getting a low 53, I'm actually thrilled with this run. This went really well. So.
Well, of course, and it was wonderful that you got to show it off here at Questing for Glory.
I am extremely grateful that I had this opportunity. This is a game that I've put a lot of work and a lot of time into, and to be able to show this off is very cool. So for those of you that were enjoying it, or were enjoying what we were doing, you see there's links there to follow me as well as Scala Kitty too.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you're interested in learning more about this game or learning about the speedrun or anything like that, please give me a follow. I'm more than happy to bring more people into the fold when it comes to running this game and talking about strategies and competing on the leaderboards and all that stuff. I would love to have more people involved in this game. I think that'd be great. So by all means, hit me up. So I made a couple mentions during this run about the 100% run.
Right.
It is it's slightly longer than any percent, only by about 5 minutes or so. The things that we didn't get that would be gotten in 100% is there's a couple extra bomb upgrades, there's a couple shield upgrades, a sword upgrade, and the armor upgrade that I skipped. The bronze armor in Crypt 4. That's it. Adds about 5. Okay, so here we go. So this is Stunlock Earwig. This is what he's supposed to look like. He's got all these segments here. The only way that you can actually do damage to him is by hitting his tail segment. However, because all of his segments take hit stun, despite the fact that they don't actually take quote-unquote damage, we just keep bouncing all of them back off the wall, including the tail segment, and that's how we kill him so fast. But that's I'm glad we got to see that there, so you see what that fight can actually look like. If you're doing it casually and you let him walk around the room, he's actually pretty difficult. But because he always walks towards you, as long as you enter that room on the left tile and walk straight up, you can just keep hitting him and killing him. So, yeah. So, alrighty. Well, let me see if we're ready to go for the next one. If we are, then I will go ahead and pass it off. We're going to be doing. Looks like we're going to be doing Final Fantasy V next.
An absolutely fantastic run.
Oh yeah, it is. That run is very cool. So definitely stick around to see that, because if you don't, then you're going to pretty much miss the rest of Questing for Glory too. Because after Final Fantasy V, it's the Questing for Glory series, and that's the finale. So if you want to get your fix in, then
now is the time.
Yeah, now is the time. Now is the time. So, yeah. When is low percent? Oh my goodness. I suppose there actually isn't a defined category for that. Now that you mention it, I suppose I could devise that. But I mean, yeah, I suppose it could be done. But
It sounds like it would be pretty annoying though, because then you don't get best fire.
Oh my god!
There's nothing in the game like best fire.
This game is difficult enough as it is, so that would just be, man, that would be a real exercise in craziness. So, alrighty. So I think that is going to do it for me here. I'm going to hand it back on over to High Spirits, who I would like to thank for allowing me to have not one but 2 runs in this marathon. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and making all of your rip-off confirmed memes. I know that was something that was happening quite a bit. So thanks again, and be sure to give us a follow if you enjoyed what you watched here, and hope to see you all soon. Take care, folks.
Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone.